Hello everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei, the Management of a Novice Alchemist, the finale. If I'm not mistaken, there's just 12 episodes of it, and the 12th episode is what we're going to be watching today, but let me double check just in case. Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei is listed for 12 episodes indeed. There doesn't seem to be any sequels, just some side stories. A Hot Spring special is gonna release sometime in the future. Cool. And some mini anime has already been released as well. I might check it out in a spare time. Why not? This mini anime is 13 times 1 minute, so 13 minutes in total. Cool. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. And now, about this episode and about the previous one, I guess we should start talking about what happened in episode 11. And episode 11 very much felt like the finale, to be perfectly honest with you. It was just, we went to fight the salamander, well, Sarasa and the gang did, and we won against the salamander, thanks to Sarasa unleashing her true power. Of course, everything under the oversight of her master, although her master did not reveal herself, of course, so Sarasa had no way of knowing that she's there. And despite that, still risked her health and risked her life to fight the salamander. What else can be said about the previous episode? The first half of the previous episode was preparing, of course. Sarasa making all sorts of things. Heat-resistant clothes, heat-resistant gloves, and the whole set. She also made some ice crystals and ice-tipped arrows, so that was very nice to see. Characters actually preparing to fight the boss, unlike many isekais and just fantasy series that just roll into the boss cave without much, if any, preparation, and that's that. I very much do like see the characters and the teams prepare properly for such big, dangerous, important encounters. What else? That's about it, isn't it? The first half of the episode was preparation, the second half of the episode was fighting the salamander, and now the salamander has been defeated, and I'm assuming all that's left for today's episode is the summary, so to speak, the fallout. Fallout has negative connotations, so not really. But what we're going to see probably in this episode is celebration because the salamander was defeated. We're probably gonna see Iris's father arrive and Iris pay off the debt. Maybe we're gonna meet the debtors. That's also a possibility. And we're gonna end this season with one last confrontation, so to speak. Maybe some other stuff is gonna happen. Who knows? Honestly, I don't, because I haven't seen it. So how about I stop babbling now and we do just that. We see this episode, shall we? You're gonna need your subs, of course, as you can see, to follow along. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm also gonna have to ask you guys for your support. Support me monetarily if you want Patreon Throne, links in the description below, or if you don't want to spend any money, share my content, spread the word. It's completely free, costs you nothing, helps the channel a lot. And with that out of the way, we can start watching episode 12, the finale of Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, straight into the opening. Gives me time to open a bottle of yerba mate. Well, it was open before. I drank it, but pure yerba mate. Nothing more to it. Yeah, water and 20% yerba mate. It's wild being able to find any sort of drinks like that with no added sugar, no added anything. First time I encountered iced tea at a store that said sugar free and no additives and all that, I thought it's gonna have like sucralose or something in it. No, just black unsweetened tea. It was refreshing. Same goes for the yerba. Kinda pricey, but I guess saves me the hassle. Okay. Yeah, that's the salamander. We can finally see it in its full glory. Kind of a shame that the last opening and the last ending as well is not gonna have English subs. I would like to give them like one last glance to maybe glean something from them. And there is a reason to celebrate. Okay, so they confirmed it's been defeated off screen. Well, not off screen. We see it now. Yeah, something made it grow to extraordinary size. You shouldn't have said that. Something tells me there's gonna be some more issues abound. Okay, so that was resolved off screen. So what's this episode gonna be? A one big cliffhanger for season 2, or... Oh, from her master? Or from that alchemist? Oh, feed? Oh, right! There are the guys who overtook Sarasa's family business for debts and shit, right? Or something like that. No, when Sarasa's parents died, someone like overtook it, some like family members. And what do you need from her? Okay, so like the one and only decent person, I guess? Okay, what's the catch? Because if I recall correctly, yeah, she wasn't exactly exiled, but people jumped at the opportunity to get her parents' company. So there must be some sort of a catch to it. Question is what? I guess finally inheriting her company can't be bad, right? Like, if she has free access and control over a whole trading company, right? And there's that. Yeah. her parents' will and her dream. She could open a branch store. I mean, right? Going back home? Loria having abandonment issues? Kinda, sorta. And that's the last she saw of her. Okay, I thought she's just gonna Super Saiyan run to her uh, company, to her hometown, and resolve it within a single day, but no, she's genuinely just going for a stroll and talking with the village folk. That long, huh? I mean, she kinda was initially. True, she probably is like one of the most important people in the village. Second to the mayor. What you making? Okay, what is it though? Oh, the gift! Right, right. She did promise some gift for Sarasa. Is that it? A sturdy table? Or not? Something separate? Like, that actually makes sense. Okay, what's going through your head, Sarasa? And you've been eating Loria's meals, so no reason to visit the tavern, huh? Okay, so she just went out to talk with the village people to ascertain her feelings towards this village. I don't want to go back to my hometown because I feel good here and I have people I know and I established myself here, so I'm not gonna go back. I was expecting a plate to break. Yeah, I mean, it's worth at least talking with them, right? That's a long way. They're gonna run out of stock. Or maybe not. I mean, we don't know how much stock Sarasa hoarded. Okay, so she's gonna prepare ahead of time. I mean, yeah, she's been doing it for a long time already, so makes perfect sense. And hand holding right in front of everybody. Shameless. And super run. Didn't her master manage to arrive in like a day while using super run and she's gonna take half a month? Maybe she doesn't want to super run all the time or something. I don't know. Watch her family's business be run into the ground. It's not prospering at all. They just want to get rid of it because of the debt it incurred or something. Dust and cobwebs? No, it's actually it's actually fairly well kept. I mean, yeah, that's kind of what they did. Okay, and they were also busy trying to keep the shop running. Okay, I guess it makes sense. They did the most with what they had. And all in all, her stay at an orphanage actually turned out for the best for her, didn't it? Okay, is Sarasa back already? Okay, right. Sarasa's expertise is needed to price the ingredients. Sore spot. Don't say it in front of the wife. Right, I guess there's also them. Yeah, that's a lot of food. She's coping with stress by indulging in her hobbies. Her hobby being cooking. Is that it? Yeah. Medica curate ipsum, as they say. Apply your own advice. Okay, it's lively here. Good to see that it's not completely like run down. And people appreciate it. And increased security. Okay, the shop has some renown. Yeah, that's true. How about Sarasa owns it, you still run it, and we set up a magic circle somewhere in the back so that Sarasa can send alchemical stuff to your shop and you can send the ingredients Sarasa's way. That would work, wouldn't it? Another feast? I mean, by connecting your current business with the shop, it will grow bigger. No doubt about it. Whomst? Oh, her master. Her master's wife, rather. Them's some pretty eyes. First time we see them. I guess she's right. She's not wrong there. No, that's like old news by now. Yeah, your gift of precognition isn't great, is it? Okay, we can talk while fighting, I guess. That's a pretty scene. And nothing clears your mind better than the fear of a slit throat. Ooh, a spinning shot. Yeah, that's true. If you're unhappy, that's gonna make your parents in the heavens sad, isn't it? You shouldn't, like, run yourself into the ground just to please your customers. Well, tough shit, mate. Oh, I was about to say that swelling and itching is not a matter of life and death, but there seems to be a fever as well. Okay. Sarasa is the cornerstone of this shop, after all, isn't she? What decision did you take, though? Are you taking the shop over? Are you not? Okay, makes perfect sense. Still, I feel like the store being owned by Sarasa and under the management of this guy would be the better outcome, but hey, Sarasa does what Sarasa wants. If owning a second business wouldn't make her happy, then it is what it is, right? She wants to work on her own business. She still could own the store on paper, though. Yeah, management of a novice alchemist, one could say, eh? Oven gloves. And it suddenly became vogue in the entire village. And she's just chilling on the roof because why not? I will. You know what? I will. And she's in the black. That's good. I will return. Hell yeah. If it ever gets a second season, I don't know how great the chances of that are, probably not particularly big. Then again, I do have to remember that Arifureta got a second season and a third. And the first season was not great, so maybe this one also gets a second one. If it doesn't, for a while, I'm gonna start reading the source material. The manga, probably, not the light novel. But we'll see about that. Mizuho Itsuki Fumi Kadokawa. Okay, that was it. That was it indeed. Episode 12 of Management of a Novice Alchemist. So, how about now I set it all up and we go through it again, shall we? That's how it's done. Okay, opening. The salamander, I think, is now shown with more detail than in previous openings. Although, is it? I honestly can't remember. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Who cares? It looks cool either way. Okay, salamander ingredients sold for a high price. I'm glad we were able to see at least this on screen, get a bit of like proper closure, seeing the assessment of this salamander off screen, or rather not seeing it, wouldn't feel good for an ending of that like combat arc, so to speak. So yeah, it's good that it's here. Now I believe this is no ordinary specimen. Still, thanks to that, everything's settled now, isn't it? Them some prophetic words, I fear. I fear that someone's fucking around with the wildlife in the area, and that's not gonna be the end of it. I'm gonna note it down, just in case. Some things fucking with wildlife makes it dangerous. I still feel that might be the case. Hellflame Grizzly Stampede could be explained by the amount of lava lizards, and the amount of lava lizards could be explained by the salamander, and particularly by the salamander being this big. But why is the salamander this big? Either someone like summoned it or made it grow or something like that on purpose. What purpose? Nefarious purpose is what purpose, but I don't know what exactly. Or something fucky wucky is going on in the ecosystem. Maybe some magic dust or magic sewage from a magic factory polluting the environment, and animals growing bigger and stronger and more mean because of it. That's also a possibility. The only thing I firmly believe it is not is natural. Something's going on. And the Hellflame Grizzly Stampede was the first sign. Super Big Salamander was the second sign. What's gonna be next? I don't know. We'll see, or not. The whole issue with the debt is more or less settled. Yeah, they send their regards. What's their relationship, by the way, I have to ask. This one was settled off screen. I would have preferred it settled on screen, but I guess it's whatever. I don't mind it particularly much. It was just a side plot. Just something to push them to visit the mountain to get expensive ingredients and to find the salamander, so sure. Letter for Sarasa from the feed company. Oh, yeah, those are oven gloves. I didn't notice that the gloves at the end are the same as these ones. They're fire resistant, so she made them initially for the salamander fight, but they're gonna be super useful for other people, as she says. For blacksmiths, they'll be able to just grab red hot iron with bare hands without the need for tongs or anything like that. For cooking, as well, obviously. Everybody's probably using like cast iron pans, and the handle can get quite hot, so hey, another product to sell. Heard from the head of the orphanage that you are in Yok village. Allow me to get straight to my reason. Our Feed Corporation wishes to welcome you back as the heir to the business. Yeah. Loria is reacting quite badly to this news. I guess she really doesn't want Sarasa to go there. Although I'm gonna be honest, her reaction seems kind of strong. I don't know. Maybe it's just kind of like over. Whatchamacallit? Her reaction is kind of over, not overexposed, not overblown. Maybe kind of overblown. For like, effect, so that you can see that Loria really doesn't want Sarasa to go, and so you can't just keep it in her head because the audience, the viewers, are not gonna be able to figure it out. And you also don't want Loria to speak her words outright because it's gonna lose all nuance. So we resort to perhaps a little bit overblown signs of Loria having an issue with Sarasa going away. Yeah, a reminder. I'll make sure to watch over the shop while you're away. After all, this place will be all yours in the future. Yeah, and I'll make it even bigger too. The promise, the dream, the goals of her parents, the goals of her own. Yeah, quite a lot going on in her head, I'm assuming. Loria, like, you would think she has like abandonment issues with how she's reacting to Sarasa just going for a walk. Like, it's not a healthy amount of worry, you know? She's not just asking out of curiosity where you're going. She's like, oh no, Sarasa is going to disappear. Sarasa is really going to disappear. Sarasa is going away. She's gonna leave me. She's gonna abandon me. She's gonna abandon the village. Is she gonna move out? She's surely gonna move out. And I'm having trouble figuring out why that is. Is it something that's developed outside of the scope of the anime, something that's been more prominent in the source material? Loria's dependence on Sarasa? Or is it, again, an example of something overblown to show the viewers that, yeah, she's worrying, and we can't just keep it in her head, she has to be vocal about it? Yeah, she's really like, as if Sarasa, I don't know, went out for a walk one day and she came back half dead and needed her master's help and like a week to recover or something, and was on death's doorstep. And Loria is traumatized by it, and she really doesn't want Sarasa leaving the house. But as far as I can see, nothing like that happened. Every time Sarasa went out, even when she went out to fight the salamander, she just came back without a scratch on her. So Loria doesn't have a reason to worry. If you guys are familiar with the source material, do let me know how it was in the source material. Was there something more going on? Or is it just an example of showing her worries, perhaps a little bit too ham-fisted way, but regardless, showing her worries? She just goes for a walk to the Fletcher, or Hunter, or whoever he is. Just walking around the village with a friend. Visiting the blacksmith and the carpenter, making a table. Yeah, it's just a table. I was wondering what the plaque is in the middle there. That it's maybe some magical stove. Maybe it's like a magical cooling plate or something that Sarasa whipped out for them, and they're making some ice cream making machine or something along those lines. But no, it just seems to be a table, and the thing on the table is just the plans for it, the schematics, and they are just making a table. Reinforced a little, but a table. Elin had a request for us. I figured the craftsmen of the village could work together to make something. Oh, what a great idea. We start... The idea actually came from my father. Wait. Is the big idea here that a carpenter and a blacksmith can come together and make a thing? Is that what it is? A carpenter makes wooden parts, a blacksmith makes iron parts or steel parts, and they build a thing. Is that like something revolutionary in this world? It seems like a big deal that they figured craftsmen could work together. Wow, what a concept. What a concept. Yeah, oh, what a great idea. Yeah, we're starting with something simple to give it a try. I never worked with another craftsman, so we're trying to make a table together, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool working with a carpenter. Shit. Had I known earlier that I can work with other people, is it like some detail in the world that we're missing? Some piece of world building that craftsmen keep to themselves. Like, carpenters keep to carpenters, and they might order some nails from a blacksmith, but they would never work on a joint project because every craftsman guild is super prideful and self-absorbed or something like that. Because how wonderful the idea actually came from my father. Maybe I'm focusing on it too much, but I feel like a significant amount of world building is missing here. Because if there isn't, then this moment is like completely and utterly inconsequential. It means absolutely nothing. But if there is some prior world building that establishes that craftsmen don't work together, then right? Then it's shaking up the status quo. Did the idea come from Sarasa ordering some iron plates to make the stoves? Or what? Like, I'd get it if it was some like actually revolutionary idea. For example, I don't know, nobody came up with the idea to use iron processed by an alchemist to forge weapons, because alchemists usually keep to themselves and they just make their products and they sell them but never cooperate with other craftsmen because they're a secretive bunch. And here comes Sarasa, and the blacksmith has an idea. Oh, Miss Sarasa, I don't know if I'm overstepping my bounds, but I was thinking ever since I was a child, would it be possible to like make a weapon out of enchanted iron? Not enchant a weapon, but like enchanted like glowing iron or something. Could you make something like that, Miss Sarasa? Some iron that I could then use, or something like that. And wow, who would have thought? Who would have tried? Sarasa and the blacksmith suddenly uncovered a whole new branch of science with using alchemical ingredients for blacksmithing, right? Something like that. But it's just a carpenter and blacksmith making a table. Interesting. Interesting. I I'm gonna have to read the source material, I think. At least until the point where the anime ends, to figure out is there any actual significance to it. How about we make you a field for herbs next to your shop? No good. I was thinking that Sarasa's feelings towards making a field would be like, oh, but if I have all the herbs here, then I'm not gonna. Then there won't be any need for me to go on adventures and gather herbs in the forest, and I really like going on adventures with my friends, and something along those lines. But no, she just seems lost in thought over the whole taking over family business thing, of course. So it makes sense that she would be a little bit out there. We're going to eat at a tavern. I'm really glad you came to the village. Oh, right, there was also a mention of gatherers. Yeah, the number of gatherers about has grown and the village has been prospering. Yeah, so thanks to Sarasa's involvement, thanks to this place being probably the only alchemical shop in the area, the next one being in whatchamacallit, um, in the city, and the next one probably being in the capital or something. Uh, this one just being here out there in the boonies next to a lush forest rich in resources. I guess it would make it an attractive point for gatherers. We're here for a meal. Stove has been working out great. We get to talk a whole lot. Everyone's so lively now compared to before. I guess maybe the significance of making the table is now a little bit more clear. I think that usually it actually was that the craftsmen just kept to each other. You need the nails, you go to the blacksmith. You need a table, you go to the carpenter. But now they are getting ideas. They are like working, being creative a little. Something along those lines. Is that what it was supposed to exemplify? Maybe. I'm not sure, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm still not sure. But the whole walk around the village was, of course, there to establish that, hey, Sarasa had a real impact on the village, and people really like her being here. And she probably enjoys being here as well. I'm thinking of heading to the feed company. And it's slow pan over Loria. Haven't decided. Phew, she hasn't decided yet. I was really expecting her to just drop the plate, but no, she's too good of a housewife for dropping plates carelessly like that. Loria is too perfect for it. Takes half a month. And yeah, they're gonna take care of the shop. She's gonna help appraise things. Makes sense. And she's out with her super run. I really thought it's not half a month to get here. Her master got here super quick, didn't she? Because she was using super run. Can Sarasa not use super run as well as her master? Or what's the deal here? Or is it some, I don't know, inconsistency in the running speed? Or is her master really good at running? Or I don't know. There is some inconsistency though, for sure. This is cool. Compared to South Strog, this wall is actually pretty damn thick. Like a proper city wall. Although the, whatchamacallit, in the corner here, the bricks are kind of fucky-wucky. The perspective on the bricks doesn't correspond to the perspective of the gate. You can say it's actually just a sheet of texture. But yeah, it's kind of whatever. Mr. Head Clerk. I was really expecting this shop to be completely run down and on the verge of bankruptcy, and their letter was an attempt to tie Sarasa back into into running the store. Like, oh fuck, the store is bankrupt and it's getting so much debt. What can we do about it? Well, we can just offload it on Sarasa, right? She's the like proper heiress of it, so we can just give her the deed and peace out, and it's her problem now. I really was thinking it's gonna go this way, but I guess I kind of forgot that Management of Novice Alchemist is, all things considered, a very, maybe not very, but a fairly light-hearted series and overall very positive. There aren't nefarious people here, except those who are actually made into villains. When, maybe not exactly nefarious, but people are straightforward. If they say, I don't know, if a person in the show says, I want your help, they really want help. They don't want to ambush you. If they say, hey, I really, out of the goodness of my heart, want to give you your parents' property back, they really mean it. There's no grand scheme behind it. There's no conspiracy. That's a breath of fresh air, I gotta say. With so many anime series and manga and light novels and everything being all about like gray morality and not everybody is good, and people who you think are good aren't really good, and the world is all gray and the world is all fucked and stuff like that. It's kind of a breath of fresh air to have a series where characters mean what they say and they are fairly straightforward to begin with. That's cool. That's cool. I was figuring we'd come get you after getting in contact. Did you figure we had abandoned you all this time? Yeah, they even kept the drawing. We had a lot of goods stolen, so they went into debt, of course, but they were working hard to bring the shop to the former glory. My remote for OBS disconnected for some reason, but okay, it's working now. We really did all want to look after you, but we just couldn't stand you. Look at the state of the store. And also, you have a child sleeping on the fucking floor. Get her a room or something, hire a nanny, right? Like, I guess it makes sense they were running a shop close to bankruptcy. They wouldn't have money to hire a caretaker for her. They probably wouldn't have money to rent a room or anything like that. They all probably were also sleeping in the shop, or at least some of them. So I guess it makes sense that the next best choice would be bringing Sarasa to the orphanage. And so I asked the head of the orphanage not to tell you anything. I guess it does make sense to a degree. Figured it must have been something like that. And yeah, Sarasa just wants to see how it's run. I'm still super curious about this alphabet. Afl, fl, fi, 7, fl. I still have no clue. If any of you guys knows, if there's some Reddit thread or something where they figure out this language, I'd be super curious to hear about it. Working hard, eh, acting owner? Still, Sarasa still isn't back yet. That seems to be a very sore spot for Loria. And I wonder why that is. Did she get so used to Sarasa that being separated for a month is big hit to her, or what's the deal here? I don't know. One thing that's for sure is that she's escaping into her hobbies to deal with the stress and deal with the feelings that she doesn't want to feel. There's some omurice, there's a tart, there's a fish, spatchcocked fish, it seems, some sort of poultry, meatballs, salad, I guess breaded pork chop with some sauce, a slab of some sort of a white meat, white fish probably with sauce, soup, and slices of some sort of a fruit cake probably. Besides that, in the bowls, I guess soy sauce and vinegar probably, or salt maybe. Even without the marriage, you still have your debt. Yeah, the debt of her father was settled, but she still has her own. They both do. A nice consistency in the placement of the dishes between the top-down shot and the side shot. And this is some sort of, I guess, steak? Probably. Fruits from Oxford you sold me are themselves quite a good reception. That workshop you introduced me to is fantastic. We always feel safe, trusting you with our luggage. It's super secure. Everybody loves this store. They carry good quality goods. They are helpful to their clients. They order some exotic stuff. They can recommend what they can't give their clientele. They can recommend who can give it to them. Their transports are always super secure because the previous owners were killed by bandits, so of course that's gonna be the priority now. Yeah, it's an overall very good place, very good store. I all this time I really was looking for something nefarious to be going on there, but there isn't. He's just a nice guy. He's just a good dude who wants to give Sarasa what is rightfully hers. We want you to carry on this shop that your parents left behind. It's probably because Miss Andre's group. Okay, it's gotten busy. Yeah, because there's more gatherers. I want you to carry on this shop that your parents left behind. And yeah, there's her parents' wishes. After all, this place will be all yours in the future. And I'll make it bigger. I guess indirectly, by just collaborating with this store, she's indirectly gonna make it bigger, right? By just bringing new merchandise. Even just that much. The sound when she opened the eyes, I don't know if it was supposed to, like, emphasize her cool looking eyes, or was it supposed to be some magic effect that happened the moment she opened them? I don't know. Maybe she has the ability to look into people's hearts or something. I don't know. Those are some cool eyes. That much I gotta say. Like sunset colored, right? There's the yellow, the orange, the pink, a little tinge of purple and blue at the top. Cool looking for sure. Oh, of course I know why you came. To ask me about the salamander. No, who the fuck cares about the salamander? It's been defeated. I killed it. That's not it at all. You're too self-absorbed, master. Why are they talking in the dungeon? I don't know. Memory is probably hiding from people's curious ears. Why? It's her store. Are there other people here? I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Sword lesson. There's some cool shots and some cool scenes in this scene. Yeah, I know where the budget for this series went. To the salamander and to this fight. This nice, cool spinning shot. Some cool sword fighting. Animated on once at times. Yeah, those 4 frames animated on once. 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Well, I guess 1, 2 because it's just a shift. The sword's glowing. But you restrain yourself too much. It's fine to be selfish every now and then. Yeah, Sarasa's been fairly selfless so far, right? Thinking of the others, thinking of the village, thinking of Loria, thinking of everybody else except herself. You said your parents didn't run their business solely to earn money, but also to make everyone involved happy. But will you be happy? Yeah, that everyone needs to include you as well. Some cool shots with the wind blowing through her hair. This jump in. This one was obtuse. It's a big ass moon though. Bonk. Gotcha. And of course, chaos at the store. They're bringing a lot of stuff that needs to be appraised real fast because nobody has any time. But of course, the owner isn't here, and they have to rely on the alchemist from South Straug to arrive every now and then and appraise what needs to be appraised. Yeah, where's the processed foods, canned foods? Where's the anti-venom? Where's this? Where's that? Chaos that only Sarasa can handle, of course. Apparently her handling the chaos is just about her knowing where things are. Like you'd expect them to know where things are, but the effect is what matters, right? And of course, there's also the appraisal that genuinely only Sarasa can do here. And Loria is happy. Happy wife, happy life, as they say. You mustn't make the customers wait. You'll all be dealt with soon, everyone. That sounded like a threat. This shop and the one from your parents will be collaborating. I guess it does make sense. It is something that you can do. They deal with trading mostly. Sarasa deals mostly with production. So it makes sense. Sarasa makes some merchandise, sends it over. They get some ingredients, they send it over. Sarasa needs some ingredients, she asks them for those ingredients. They need some alchemical thingamajig, they ask Sarasa for the alchemical thingamajig. Collaboration like that makes perfect sense, although I'd still like to see Sarasa's name on the ownership deed. I gotta say. She could, well, not even run two businesses, leave running the store to the usual guy that's been running it for all those years, but stay as an owner. Just an owner. To tie everything more tightly, right? But I guess whatever Sarasa is happy with. That's what matters after all, right? That was the lesson. Would that make you happy? Would owning that store make you happy? Apparently not. Apparently collaboration with it would make her happy, so she's gonna collaborate. This shop really has turned into a wonderful business, fantastic place. That lives up to my father and mother's ideals. That's a bit of a mistake in the subs. I need to make myself happy as well. And so I can't work here. Yeah, I want to develop my own shop in York Village alongside everyone. That's her goal, that's her happiness. Working at her own store, having her own things, making it on her own, with help of the village folk. Makes sense, makes perfect sense, and I'm happy that she found what she believes she will find happiness in. That's a lot of finding. Still a novice when it comes to being an alchemist. Keiei, yeah, they were speaking the magic words from the title. The gloves are a brand new hit. There's some interesting board in the corner. Doesn't. Yeah, there isn't anything that I would make heads or tails with. From some drawings and some text. And everybody loves the gloves, of course they do. And then there's this motherfucker just just sitting on the roof observing. Sarasa, you get yourself a stalker, I'm afraid. Kate is happy, Iris is happy, Loria is happy, Sarasa is happy. Everybody's happy. The perfect good ending. And that makes it even better. 80 million from Salamander sales, 65 million for the debt. That's a lot, but she still has 14 million, almost 15 million in the bank account. That's great. That's actually great. And the final, whatchamacallit, final, not lyrics, fuck, not outro. Shit. End credits. Final credits. That's what I wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. So that's that. Now I wanna really quickly check out one more thing. Do I have the first episode still saved? Yes, I do. So I wanna check. Yeah. Right, all those shady people. With the deed that it seems like whoever Feed was scratched out and someone else's name was put there. Right? It really seems... It really seems to me like, yeah, she's alone in the world. And people are conspiring behind her back to get the store. Where's the nice manager guy? Or is it simply how Sarasa remembers it? She thought it was all nefarious. She thought they wanted to take her store from her. And in fact, this manager wasn't smiling and they weren't conspiring. Maybe was this the manager? I don't know. What does it say here? I don't know. Maybe if I did, I would be able to glean more from it. Her first days at the orphanage. You're a member of her family. And they just fucked off, not even saying goodbye. It really does seem... Yeah, that's the clerk smiling. That's the head clerk. Huh. Yeah, from... If it's what actually happened, then I don't fault Sarasa for figuring out they abandoned her. And I'm kind of surprised that she agreed to even arrive here. That she wasn't surprised that, oh, they want to give me back what they took from me. But it might just be her skewed memory of those events. How she remembers it? Maybe, I don't know, hard to tell. I'm gonna have to dig into the source material, for sure. Okay. That's all I wanted to check out from this segment. And now what I want to check out is... those aren't the alchemist notes, those are the alchemist notes, just a couple of them. But worth going over nonetheless. Security seal in her house, Chekhov's gun. If so, then it hasn't fired yet. So I'm gonna say yellow. Bear rampage, why? We don't know that. Yellow. Crop failure in Iris's village wasn't natural. We don't know that. Yellow. Salamander disappears. It didn't. It was properly defeated. Orange. Something's fucking with the wild. Something's fucking with wildlife makes it dangerous. We don't know that. Well, there wasn't much to predict, but from what there is, I really haven't predicted anything. It's a great statistic, isn't it? Compare it to, like, I don't know, where was I the most accurate? Madoka Magica, I didn't do bad predicting Madoka. Katarakuma Osa, Mayofukashi no Uta. Overlord, I haven't gone over them. I guess Symphogear GX didn't go badly. Okay. That does it for my predictions. One more thing I want to do real quick is see the mango. Where's the mango? Oh, that's the mini anime. I don't want the mini anime. I want the source light novel. No, alternative mango. And the mango is up on Mangadex. That's great. And it has how many chapters, tell me? Tell me, please. 2 chapters from 3 months ago. That's really not much, is it? Someone pick it up, please. Or maybe the manga started after the anime. I don't know. But it's just 2 chapters, so I'm gonna read it. Okay. That does it for a little bit of finalization, I guess. Now, about the series. What can I say about it, really? It was cool. It was cute. It was light-hearted and light in general. It was one of the series that you could see on my channel in the most consistent way, because it was simply a series that was easy to watch. Right? There are series out there. In general, I kind of categorize the anime I'm watching into three categories: hardest, normal hardness, normal difficulty, and easy ones. Normal difficulty series, I need to be in a certain mindset to watch properly and to experience properly. I can't be too tired, I can't be too sleepy, I can't be like feeling unwell, because I know that they have enough things for me to notice in them, enough things for me to stumble over, enough things to remember, enough things to figure out, that if I'm not of full bearings, so to speak, I'm not gonna do a great job recording a video on the topic. There are series of that are hard, of high difficulty. For example, you have Madoka Magica, you have Review Starlight in that category. And those are very hard to watch for me because I need to be in peak condition, so to speak, which rarely happens. But I feel that if I'm not at peak condition, I'm not gonna do a great job at them because they simply have so much to them that if I yawn and miss something, that's gonna have repercussions in future episodes because I'm not gonna remember something. If I'm tired and it's affecting my memory, that's gonna be bad. If I stumble over my words, if I can't find proper words because I'm so sleepy, that's also gonna be a problem. If something distracts me, I don't know, a toothache or swirling in my stomach or whatever, I'm also not gonna do a great job. And then there are series like the Management of the Novice Alchemist in this season that I can just watch. Right? I can just come home after work, even if I'm slightly tired, even if I'm slightly sleepy, even if I'm not feeling my best, I can just sit there and enjoy myself and relax and not have to worry that I'm missing some subtext somewhere. Not have to worry that I didn't notice some fresco that appears for like 2 frames and thus I'm not gonna have the context 7 episodes ahead. That I'm not gonna remember the name of some character and so I'm not gonna be able to put two and two together that the name of the potion they take in episode 18 is the same as the name of character that appeared for 5 seconds in episode 2, right? I don't have to worry about those things. It's a very nice, very light watch. Nothing super world ending happens. There isn't any particular drama, there isn't any particular conspiracy. It's just relaxing. But at the same time, it's not fully slice of life. I think it strikes that good balance where I don't have to worry about all those heavy things, but also it's not so light-hearted as to be devoid of any substance. Because there are slice of life series out there where it's just, in this episode, they're going to the store. And what can I say about them going to the store? In today's episode, they went to 7-Eleven and bought pudding, and they met a cat on their way there, and they said hello to Nagisa-chan. Right? Like, there isn't anything for me to watch. Those series are cool to watch, don't get me wrong, those light slice of life series, but they aren't great to make content on. Meanwhile, this series, the Management of the Novice Alchemist, Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei, does strike the balance, where it's slice of life, but just enough, where where there are still the fights. Sometimes there are still some minor conspiracies, some minor dramas, some events are happening that I can actually talk about, that I can actually try to dissect a little bit, right? What was the famine at Iris's father's lands caused by, right? That's a mystery. That gives you something to think about. The issue with the salamander, and earlier with the fire lizards and with bears. What causes that? There's something more at play here. The world building alone, from what little we've seen of it, because I really wish we'd seen more of the world building. That alone gives me a lot to talk about. Yeah, it was a genuinely good series. It was a genuinely good watch, and I did enjoy myself. When it comes to the shortcomings, though, um, I guess the art style is the biggest offender here, and it's not even that big of an offender, to be honest with you. Although I would have preferred for it to look a little better. After a couple of episodes, I did kind of get used to it, and it wasn't like offensively ugly or anything of the sort. It was just fairly, I guess, cheap. I guess cheap is the word I have to use here. I don't want to use the word cheap to describe something that costs a lot, not just in money, but also in human effort. I don't want to describe human effort as cheap, but it kinda does look this way, if you forgive me. The thin line work, the lack of detail on characters. Like, sure, their designs are decently detailed, but there aren't really any like creases or stuff like that. The shading, very thin line work. Already talked about that, but I guess it's more about the line work. Why I'm not a huge fan of super thin line work. In a couple of frames, especially when it was zoomed in, it was so thin you could see it like aliasing. You could see the pixels. Like you would open MS Paint and use the pencil tool, right? A single pixel wide line, and it just doesn't look great. When it's thicker, you can blend it a little with whatever is on both sides of the line work. When it's this thin, you can't, because otherwise you will just lose the line, and you can't really have that happen with something with this art style, right? But I guess the biggest offender, again, that offender is in quotes, when it comes to art style, would be the backgrounds, I think. And not all of them, mind you. Some of the backgrounds were genuinely cool, watercolor paintings, essentially. Those were great. But then you would see the interior, and you would see that the cupboard is just freetextures.org wood texture cut into shape and with some lines drawn over it. You would see wonky looking cups. You would see doors that are kind of out of perspective. You would see those sorts of issues almost everywhere. And that did kind of detract from the enjoyment of some of the scenes. Again, not everything looked bad. Some of those scenes, some of those backgrounds did look cool. Props for sure for the salamander. That was probably the best looking thing in the series. And props for this finale, for this fight of Sarasa and her master. There were some cool shots there. Some hard to pull out shots for sure. Spinning shots are famously hard to pull out in anime. They usually have the resort to making the room CG. If you want a good example of that, Irina the Vampire Cosmonaut, Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu. It's on my channel. You don't have to watch my reaction, just watch Tsukito Laika to Nosferatu. Episode 3 or thereabouts, I think, or 2 or thereabouts. There's a cool spinning shot, and they really do make the whole environment CG because it's just easier on them. That anime also didn't have the greatest art style in the world, but it also was a good watch. I did enjoy my time with Tsugita Lakata Nosferatu. So give it a glance if you want one day. Yeah, I'm currently browsing other shows that this studio made, Studio Engi, and apparently they made Uzaki-chan, Data Life 3, Show by Rock, the one the one isekai anime with the wrestler that loves animals. And in 2022 alone, they made 4 shows, I guess one per season. Some Kanekole show, Uzaki-chan's second season, and some Otome Sekai wa Mob ni Kibishi Sekai desu, whatever that is. And in 2023, they're making 2 more shows. And they haven't made much besides that, so I'm gonna be looking forward to their development, to them getting better at what they're doing, because I think they will get better at what they're doing. I wanted to check out the art director as well, and the character designer, and the art designer. I probably did check them out beforehand, in like episode 1, but I just want a short reminder. The art designer and art director, what did he make? Kazuhiro Arai, founder of Studio Homare. Interesting that the founder of a studio works at a different studio. Mm. Oh, he's an art designer and art director for Kaiko Sarata Ankaku Heishi 30 Dino Slow something something, which is an anime that I browsed during my live stream, but I didn't ultimately decide to watch it. I don't think I did, or maybe I did. I don't know. We'll see about that. Those frontline anime art design. Anything other of significance? Breakers, I guess I heard about it somewhere. One of the Conan series background art or Conan movie, I don't know. And art director and background art for some older shows. Seijuki Saigard, Cosmos Pink Shock. Urusei Yatsura, art director on episode 11 of the original Urusei Yatsura. And I also wanted to check out the character designer, also character design for Tantei wa Moshindeiru. We're talking about Yosuke Ito, by the way. Also, key animation and assistant animation director for 1 episode of Psycho Pass. Key animation for Vivi Fluoride Ice Song, episode 9. Character designer for Kawai Keraba Hentai Demoski ni natte kuremasu ka. Key animation for single episode of Ore to Intel ni narimasu. Interesting. It seems like this anime wasn't made by exactly like newcomers, the way, for example, Studio Not debuted with Yojo Senki, but they don't have particularly big of a portfolio. That's why I'm interested in what they're gonna do, where they're gonna do next. I'm gonna be interested in seeing other shows they make in the future, and I hope they only get better and better. For sure, I'm gonna be watching your career with great interest. Anything more about Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei? Let's see, what else can I talk about? Music? It was there. It wasn't bad. It was good. Not good enough for me to remember anything in particular, but not remembering the music is a good thing in itself. It's better than remembering music for how bad it was or how much it did not fit the series. So ultimately, it was cool. The performances of voice actors, they were good. I did enjoy the voice work of pretty much everybody there. There wasn't anybody who I would feel was like a miscast. Everybody's voice fit. Everybody's performance was good. Then again, I don't speak Japanese. I'm not fluent in it. Maybe there were some moments where they stumbled over words or mispronounced some words or something like that. I don't know. I'm unable to tell that. But from my perspective, of a native Polish speaker and a close to native English speaker. At least I'd like to think that my English level is close to native. It sounded good. Those were some good performances by Kanon Takao as Sarasa, Hinakino as Roria, Saori Onishi as Iris, Nanakasuwa as Kate, Mitsuki Saiga as Ophelia, and Ami Koshimizu as Maria. Nobody else is listed, at least not on any list. Perhaps there are more people on Mal, but I'm not gonna check that right now. I'm gonna rate it as... I'm gonna give it a 7. It was good on any list. 7 seems fine. And I think that's it. I did enjoy my time with this anime. There are certainly some unanswered questions that I'm gonna try to find answers to. Perhaps in the manga. I'm not gonna jump into the light novel unless maybe in due time, like if in a couple of seasons there's not a second season announced, I'm probably gonna check out the light novel. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't usually read light novels, to be perfectly honest with you. Does it have an official site? It does. Does it say anything about second season? Probably not. Shinmai What does it show? Well, it's in Japanese, so I can't tell. Because as we already established, I don't know Japanese. There's a big banner, I'm assuming says, "Thank you for watching," or something to that effect. And some clips, and some Twitter, and some news. And that about does it for this episode, I think. It's already been almost an hour and a half. So I think it's high time we end it right here. But hey, maybe you guys have something more to add. Maybe you have something more to say based on the source material, for example. No spoilers still, because I would like to dive into the source material. But if you have something to say about like the future direction the story takes or something like that, I'm gonna leave it at your discretion. Overall, just leave a comment down below. What did you think of this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? What comes next? Like this video, of course, if you liked it. Dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of no longer Shinmai Renkinjutsushi no Tenpo Keiei, although I'm gonna be watching specials, and probably the mini anime as well, so you might see some Shinmai Renkin in the future on the channel as well. But also other series like Tensei Shitaraken Deshita, Arcanine Prelude to Dawn, I'm gonna be finishing one day. Symphogear Axis, all that's left is the finale. Well, for you people on YouTube, it's gonna be episode 11 and 12. No, 12 and 13, but if you subscribe to me on Patreon, all that's left is the finale. Madoka Magica Rebellion, I'm gonna be watching soon-ish as well. What else is there? Gundam Witch from Mercury, episode 12, the finale is coming. And also other series that I'm gonna be start watching in the future. Check out the VOD of the live stream I did, where you'll be able to see what I'm gonna be watching, and I might also make another video today as well that announces the lineup. We'll see about that. In any case, more content to come, including live streams, so you might want to click the bell to be notified when I go live. Support the channel if you want monetarily. Patreon Throne, links in the description below. On Patreon, for $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Madoka, like Symphogear. For just $1, you get a role on the Discord, place in the credits, and I sometimes release seasonal stuff a little bit early on that tier as well. So figure out the best tier for you. On Throne, you can pitch in directly towards my purchase of better gear, better software, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever from my content, spread the word, costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel an awful lot. And now, with that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. And as always, you guys do all the good stuff. And I'm gonna see you in the next one, whatever it might be. Cheers. And here's the list of my wonderful, wonderful Patreons. You can be one of them if only you so desire, and you don't need alchemy to achieve that.